I went from being at home full time for over 10 years with my kids to now working a full-time job, not a part-time job, a full-time job outside of the home. How is it going? Right now, it is pretty good. It is still difficult in some ways, but it is pretty good. The beginning was a disaster. We'll talk about that another time. But today, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons so far. It has been about 4 months, I would say. Yeah, 4 months since I have gotten my job and started working my job. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons. Okay, I wrote a few things down so I don't forget. Okay. One of the let's start with the obvious things. Obviously, money, financial reasons. I mean, that is the main reason why I went to go find a job. I didn't find a job to try to find myself or any other thing like that. I got a job because of the fact that we wanted more income because of the things that we are trying to accomplish, where we wanted our family, we wanted more income. And that was the main reason for getting a job. So that was, of course, the main thing. So being able to have that financial freedom, and I find that I feel that my husband has been less stressed. Like he just seems to be at ease, knowing that we have this extra income. And even me, I find that even I'm more at ease knowing that we have this extra income. And with that extra income, that means that of course, we have our goals that we're trying to accomplish. However, we can go on more dates. And I find that since I started working, we are going on a lot more dates. Now we're able to go on family outings and stuff like that more because of the fact that we have that flexibility with the extra income. So that would be a pro. The con, again, I want to start with really obvious, less time with the kids. I went from being at home all day with the kids to now only, being at home in the evening with the kids and weekends. So that's a lot less time. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I literally was getting over a cold. And then it's like, excuse me. And then it's like my cold started back again. I don't understand how. It's really frustrating to me. But anyhow, we'll get over this. So yeah. Another very obvious con that I was talking about, less time with the kids, of course. From being with them all day to being with them only a few hours before bedtime, that is hard. And that is something I'm still trying to, work through. But one of the things that we do is make sure that when we are having time with them, it is quality. So we might not have as much quantity, but we ensure that we are having quality time with them. We ensure that it's not just a simple, how was your day during dinner time at the table, but it's also that individual one-on-one, like what's going on? How are you feeling? How is school? Do you need help with something? That individual one-on-one conversations and stuff like that. We are very serious about our Sundays with family, playing games together, watching movies together. We're very intentional about the quality of the time that we are spending together. I like to call them from work on my lunch break, have those conversations with them. If someone's given trouble or someone needs some correction or somebody needs some encouragement, I'm able to provide that. My husband needs even more available during his work time. So trying to work around that. The next pro, health benefits. My job does come with benefits. So that kind of ties a little bit into the financial thing, just being able to have more of those health benefits and be able to use them for our family. I've seen the benefit of that as well. Sorry, should have my phone on vibrate. Okay. The next con would be less time to manage my home. So this has been a big stress for me. I'm going to be honest with you, because I feel like I have been falling behind. Like I just don't feel that my home is as clean as it once was, as organized, as flowing as well as it was when I was at home doing it myself. My kids are doing great with the time that they have and the energy they put into it, which they get rewarded with. They get rewarded with allowances and stuff like that. However, it's still not done to my standards, and that has been hard for me. But my husband and I have been discussing possibly outsourcing that. I say in a video that where I was talking about being a helpmate to your husband, yeah, outsourcing that, and maybe getting a company to come in or to do cleaning maybe once every other week or one every week or something on those lines to help with that. So we've been talking, that's a discussion. So yeah, just trying to be proactive with finding a solution for that. But it has been hard because, yeah, you go from taking care of your home yourself for so many years, and now thinking of needing to have help. It's taking a lot of renewing of the resetting of the mind and stuff like that. But yeah, working through that. Okay, and then so I'm gonna go through a couple other cons. Okay, so less time for hobbies and, just doing the things that I love, like baking. A lot of things I love to bake takes a lot of time to bake. Like, for example, one of the things I used to bake quite often is cinnamon rolls and bread. Those things take quite a bit of time for the whole rising and resting and all these different things. I'm not doing that nearly as much anymore. Painting and just other things that I enjoy doing. When it comes to reading, I can still do that because there are times when I will take the public transit home and I will read on the way, which is a nice quiet time to do that. But it's just not as much of course, time as you normally would have had to really be able to enjoy those hobbies and stuff. So for that, I just try to make the best of the time I have on the weekends. When I have time to do it, great. If I don't, it is what it is. Like, I just try not to allow it to bother me. And then the next con I would say is not being able to cycle sync. I don't do cycle syncing in the way of like where I eat certain things at a certain times of the month, although I think it would be nice to try that one day. But no, usually like because I know my energy levels may drop at a certain time in my cycle, I would slow down and not do as much and have a very light to-do list, if any at all, etc. When you have to clock in at a certain time, 5 days a week, you do not have the luxury of that. You have to go and you have to do what you have to do, even if you are very tired or you are having cramps. That is hard. And that is why I actually think that the full-time job is really hard on a woman's body because we are not the same. It's not like a men's cycle where it's just, they have their cycle where they have their energy levels peak in the morning and then it goes down in the evening, but it's the same like every day. No, for us, it's generally a 28-day cycle. So it is very different for us. And I think that's why a full-time job is very harsh on us, I feel like, as women. But I just look at it as the fact that it's just a season and it's temporary. And what I do is that I will give myself grace and patience for the fact that my energy levels are not where they were, or my moods are not the way that they are going to be on a different time of my cycle. So my energy level might go from, okay, guys, let's get together on the carpet to, guys, let's get together on the carpet, please. I might have a little bit, lower energy, and I give myself grace for that. I'm still doing my job. It's just different, and I allow space for that. Okay, so that was a few cons. So a pro is that I realized I have a variety. I don't know why can I not say that word, but a larger amount of different opportunities for growth and for God to deal with me on certain things. Like before, when I'm at home, especially because of the fact that I'm quite a homebody and I didn't really get out all that much. It's just like my kids and my husband would be the main people. And a few other friends in my close circle would be the main people that like there would be opportunities for like, needing to maybe forgive or needing to see something different, or, people that rub you the wrong way and then you're stretching and you're changing and stuff like that. Especially motherhood, that does that a lot. And I'm not saying that is not enough, of course, but being in an environment where now I have, 30-something coworkers, now I have more opportunities to realize things, I feel like be going through the purifying furnace of things, like dealing with parents and stuff like that. You recognize things about yourself and you realize, okay, this is an area I need to work on. I need to have more grace in this area, etc. And just so being in that environment where you are exposed more to the public, it gives you more time, more opportunities to grow and to change and to be sanctified. Again, not saying that you cannot be completely sanctified, obviously at home. Of course you can, but it just gives you different circumstances, different opportunities to do that. So yeah, that is all my pros and cons for now. I just look at it that like this right now is a season in my life. I think both my husband and I agree that eventually it would be, at the very least, it would be either less frequent or, just the amount of hours will eventually not be the way that it is now. So yeah, it's I see it as temporary. There's a lot of things that this job has changed, and things that I had went through emotionally and mentally and stuff like that. And I shared that on a really deep personal level, but that was on the member side of YouTube. I go quite a bit more personal on that side of YouTube. So if you are interested, you can check that out if you're a member. And if you're not a member and you want to know more about that, the link is in my description. It's only, I think, I don't even remember how much it is now. $1.99, something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, it's not much a month. So if you want to go ahead and join us there, we will soon be diving into a new book. It's going to be interesting because it's a book that's very much hated. And it's a book that we're going to be looking at it like in a way of, okay, is this toxic? Is this not toxic? Is this like whatever, like very just like, I don't know what the words is for it, but yeah, created to be a helpmeet. Yes, very much hated amongst Christian circles, non-Christian circles especially, and even in the homemaking traditional wife community, it is still very much like, oh, that book is like very dangerous, very toxic to women, very whatever the case is. We're gonna see for ourselves. We're gonna have some conversations, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and dive into the member side of YouTube. But that is all I have for you today. Until next time, hopefully I'll be feeling much better and I won't sound as congested. Anyhow, until next time, sparkle like the gems of wisdom that you've got. Bye.